after the code 3 chase. Suspect was last reported southbound on Highway 99.
Sierra 16, 1023 with the pursuit.
Okay. All right. Listen, y'all, we got a nice little new setup. Let me make sure my mic is good. Sorry for the wait. All right. How's the mic? Mic check. Mic check. Can y'all hear me good? Sounds good? All right, yeah. So I'm sitting on the floor. Yeah. All right. Different setup, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is The Real Nathan Daily, and we are here with a special live stream. As you can see, this is a different setup. I promise you it's not like a dungeon or something like that. It's soap in the background. You guys, we have a lot to talk about. This is actually, let me just say this. Let me just say early Happy New Year to everybody. This is the last stream for the year. And so I thought I'd do it a little bit differently, a little bit more close and impersonal, because there's some things I want to talk to you guys about. It's been kind of sitting on my spirit for a very long time. And I've been telling myself I'm going to do a video and kind of really educate you guys on a couple of different things. And so now this is interesting because there's been a couple movies that have come out that have been hinting towards the future of this country, the future of this world, in a sense, chaos, destruction, hell and brimstone, the whole 9 yards. If you haven't seen any of these movies, I urge you to go and check it out. A lot of people had mixed feelings about a lot of them. We're talking about Leave the World Behind. Another one that we're going to be specifically talking about that hasn't been released yet is called Civil War. It's being released next year, 2024, I believe in April. And I want to get a head start on it and make sure you guys understand that art oftentimes imitates life. And what does that mean? It means that Hollywood is very good at portraying future events. It's very good at prepping you for some things to come. And I want to share these emergency preparation planning strategies, things you need to have conversations with yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones. And I want to make sure you guys share this information because honestly, I feel like you guys are like my extended family, to be completely honest. And I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I'm over here prepping my life away and then I'll never share it with you guys. And so it's a very important stream for me. Please share this with family, with friends as well. And make sure everyone has their homes and a plan and a strategy together. So Leave the World Behind. If you guys haven't seen that movie, please go and watch it. A lot of people have mixed feelings again about it, but we're going to talk about it. So this setup here is unique. Tonight, you guys, I'm on the floor. I have a lot of items to show you. I'm going to show you the things that I have, that I prepared. And I also put some links in this video description for you guys to go and check out. I want to share with you the resources that I've used, tested, tried and true, and they're quality stuff. So where are we going to start off? All right, first, before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, please let me go. It's the admin work right here. If you're new to the channel, by all means, please go and follow on the social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok. I try to get on there. Try to get on X, but you know how that goes. Yeah, so please check me out, Real Nathan Daily. It's the same across all platforms. And tonight, what are we going to do? We're going to be I'm going to react to the Civil War trailer. And the reason why it's important we react to this trailer is so that you get a better understanding as to why I feel like this is an important conversation to have. And then I'm going to show you how to prepare for these things. You guys know, as a former law enforcement officer, we had to go through a lot of these different type of scenarios during special operations training as to what do we do if all chaos unleashes? What do we do when the government fails? What do you do when law enforcement no longer shows up when you call 911? What do you do? And what does that look like for those who are in law enforcement? You guys, we went over these type of drills all the time. We used to call it like the Walking Dead scenarios, right? And this is true. If you're not preparing for the worst, you guys, you'll be caught off guard. And at the end of the day, I think COVID should have been a moment for everybody to realize that if things go left, do we have the right setup? Do we have a plan for family? And do we have resources? Do we have food? What do we do? Where do we go? If you're not having these conversations, especially during these times, you guys are doing yourself a disservice. And so, no excuse, because we're having it here together as a family. So let's dive into it. I'm going to share the resources with you guys. First and foremost, just want to say thank you guys for being here tonight. I know everybody has weekend plans. I do plan on, after we go through this content, later I'm going to cut the video up and make specific videos for everyone. So I just wanted to make sure I got this end of the year video out the way. So what else? Again, early Happy New Year's to everybody. I hope you're being safe. Tomorrow, I'll most likely be with family, chilling and relaxing. It's too dangerous in Atlanta to be running through the streets. So let's start off with this video. And as you come in, take a look at the poll. I'm curious to know who has already started prepping. So the poll is in. Let me see. I know we only got a few people in so far. So far it's so yeah. If you see the poll, do the poll. I'm curious to know: have you prepared? Are you preparing? What does that look like? And let me see. Share this tab. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is a little different, you guys. So be patient with me because I'm streaming from the floor. So this setup is just a little bit different, but it's looking good. Let me see. Make sure I have this right. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Okay, here's the trailer. Let me minimize myself, and then let's play this video. So this is the so fair use. This is the trailer for Civil War, and it's. I'm not gonna lie, it's shocking, but it's not surprising, and it's not impossible. I think these are good movies to have, even though it creates a sense of fear mongering. At the same time, I'm hoping that this wakes people up and gets them into a state of mind that they need to prepare. All right, so let's take a look at this trailer and then we'll go through it. I'm like super confused with all these. All right, here we go.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? You're moving to D.C. today.
You need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Bloody.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
Good question.
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
All right. Yeah. So that's as you can see, that's a little bit. They're doing a lot in that video. All right, let me see. Couple things with that video that really sparked my attention, I would say. Fix this thing. Is the idea that of course, as we know, Civil War, we know the original Civil War and the reasons for that, slavery. We had the South wanting to remove themselves from the Union, states' rights, a little bit of everything in the mix of it. What would this Civil War be about, right? We talking about moving forward in this country. There's a lot going on. If you guys can't see kind of a lot of the writing on the wall, the country is being divided, like severely being divided. If you're not really seeing it, you know, it's very, very obvious. Racial tension, political tension, red versus blue. And again, I feel like we're just kind of repeating the same things from the past. The problem is, in the mix of all this going on, you have the regular, everyday people who are caught up in the middle. Those who are just regular Americans wanting to live their best life and enjoy this our God-given right to live peacefully and be happy. A lot of us are caught in the middle. And so what does it look like? How do you protect your family? How do you protect yourself when things start to go upside down? We're talking the inability to provide shelter, inability to protect yourself, inability to secure food and water. Do you know how to get these things? The purpose of tonight's stream is to talk about how to prep, what to prep, and make sure you get an early start on prepping. Don't wait until shit hits the fan and then you're out here looking and scavenging for stuff. So again, this is going to be a very interesting stream. I'm going to share with you the things that I have. I'm going to talk about this Civil War trailer. A lot of people are very spooked behind this movie that's about to be released because it's kind of very reflective of the current times today as far as we're sitting on this powder keg. We don't know what's going to happen with this presidency. People are concerned about Trump running. People are concerned about Biden running. People believe that this is like, again, they get you hyped up into this emotional rant, this fear-based type of political atmosphere, and they're hoping that people absolutely lose it. And this is why I put in the thumbnail this movie, and then also at the bottom, Leave the World Behind. Because Leave the World Behind is a very unique movie, and it talks about, if you haven't seen it, this is going to be a little spoiler alert. I hope everybody saw it. But basically, I'm going to give a brief overview before I dive into these items that I feel like you need to have. The unique thing about Leave the World Behind was it talked about the U.S. falling under a cybersecurity attack. And ultimately, what happened was the communications were cut out, the internet was cut out, power was cut out. And it showed what happens when you have American citizens who don't have access to the things that we're most addicted to, the things that bring us the most comfort. You guys, when you strip the bare necessities away from humans, what you start to see is humans go back to the most biological, the most primitive methods of survival. And what the movie showed was that at the end of the day, classism, racism, any other isms mean nothing. It means nothing when you're struggling for food, when you're struggling for resources, when you need medication or medicine, when you need shelter. It's all about who do you trust, protecting the people you care about, and surviving. And that's what that movie showed, survival. And how people act in a moment when they get back to their most primitive nature. You'll start seeing things like tribalism, you know, where now it's a small group of people who are nomadic. They have their own little thing going on. They have their own little community, and that's it, you know, and they survive. You guys, we've gotten way too comfortable. So I would say maybe I do this exercise with my family as well. We do it maybe every 2 to 3 years. And the last time we did it was right during COVID. And we sit down and we have these conversations as a family, and we talk about the things that we have, things we don't have, things that we need to have, and so forth and so on. And one of the main things we talked about was, and this is the same question I'm asking to everybody watching, if you could not leave the house today, right? As of like tomorrow's New Year's, right? So if you could not leave the house tomorrow, there was an emergency message that went out and said, hey, that's it. You can't leave the house. Similar to how COVID popped off. And you're not allowed to leave. And the stores are closed. There's no food, right? There's nobody delivering any food. If you were to go, I want everyone after the stream to do an inventory of your own pantry. Those who have family, those who have kids, or those who are by themselves. If you were to look through your pantry right now and do an inventory, I want you to honestly be able to ask yourself, how long would I be able to live off the food that's actually in my pantry as of today, right now, right? Some of y'all haven't went to the grocery store as of yet. Maybe some of you had, but how long could you live off the food that's actually in your pantry if you weren't able to leave, right? And I remember sitting down having this conversation with my family, and some were like, 3 days. Some were like, maybe, 2 weeks. And so we always have to be in the mindset of preparation. Never allow the comfort of society to get us to forget how uncomfortable things can be within a drop of a dime. And not only does this have to be war related, this could be natural disaster related. This could be anything. Right? When we look at the incidents that are happening in the wars going on around the world, Ukraine, the ones in Palestine, we look at what took place and how quickly an invasion can happen, how quickly a country can decide that they want to launch an attack on another country. And unfortunately, those who are on the outer parts of the U.S., obviously you're more than likely to be attacked first. Even with natural disasters, that could happen inland, it can happen on the coastline. So at the end of the day, we still have to be mindful. We look at what happened to Hawaii, right? That was something that was just, I won't say it was random, but it happened in a moment's notice, right? Almost the entire half the island's on fire. People lost everything. And that's what we're talking about tonight. Are you prepared, right? Are you prepared for a natural occurring event? Are you prepared for an event that's calculated, event that is carried out by nefarious actors, whoever they may be? And that was kind of how, Leave the World Behind. Now, outside of we're not going to do a review of Leave the World Behind because there was a whole lot of symbolism, a whole lot of Masonic symbolism. There's a whole lot of occult symbolism in that movie, and a lot of hints this and hints that. There's a lot going on. At the end of the day, the most important thing to be concerned about with that movie is that you had people who weren't prepared, and you had those who were. You had people who had shelters, they had underground bunkers. You had a lot going on. And what happened, ultimately what it showed was that as a country of Americans, that we call ourselves Americans, we are so divided. We are a country divided. I don't even consider ourselves as a legitimate country. I always say the divided states of America. That's more accurate. We're so divided through politics, policies, skin color, race, ethnicity, religion. This country is almost like every man for himself, essentially. And the movie really highlighted that. In the moment of tragedy, you would always think that people would come together. Well, this is true, and then it's also false. The movie highlighted the selfishness of others. It also highlighted how people who have money, people who have knowledge, pre-existing knowledge, aren't going to share it, and they're going to prep themselves in a way to where they have the advantage for survival. So this is an opportunity, guys, for you to prep. After this stream is over with, next week I'll plan on adding some additional links to the bottom of the stream. Please take the time to go through them and look for these items. If you don't have them in your home, if you don't have them in your bags to prepare, please take your time little by little to prep. It's not an expensive endeavor. Obviously, it does cost money, but you will need no more than maybe $500 to really complete an entire decent package. And obviously, having this is it's better than not having anything at all. So be very mindful of that. We take money and we invest in all types of things that are temporary pleasures for the most part. But at the end of the day, when it's something that is our safety, our insurance, sometimes we slack off on that. So if you're still coming in, please do the survey. I want to know the poll. I want to know what you guys think. Are you prepared? All right. Yeah, someone said seeds. That's another thing too we're going to talk about. The thing about seeds, if you get them at the right location, seeds to plant not only vegetables and food, but also herbs, right? You want to also get seeds to plant herbs because herbs are the healing of the nation. You can get herbs that'll heal the body, sickness and things like that if you don't have medicine like antibiotics and things like that. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that. And first, we're going to talk about, before I go into the bags, I want to talk about food storage. All right, food storage. You guys, I went with this company called Legacy Food Storage. They're here in the U.S. and they have a website. I put the link in the description where they freeze dry food, and you can get a container of a lot of different food options. I ended up getting this. I have 2 of these, and this lasts for 25 years. Let me see if it's kind of heavy. All right. So 25 years worth of food. It lasts up to 25 years. I have 2 of these along with some other stuff that I have. But in the event, and it's freeze dry food. So in the event something goes wrong and I'm out of food, I have this. I have access to this. So I urge people to look into this. You don't necessarily have to go with this company, but I've tried their stuff and it's pretty decent. I've cooked it and I was impressed. So what I did was I bought the sample packs and then I cooked it and tried it before I bought the actual big container. So this is a good option. And inside this barrel, there's Italian pasta Alfredo, stroganoff, cheese and broccoli, creamy La King, vegetable, chili macaroni cheese, more vegetables, white bean chili mix, and so forth and so on. So there's a lot of stuff in here just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. And again, you can store this. It's good for up to 25 years. So that's just one. I also have another company called Patriot Supply as well. And I'll also bring a little bit of those out. Let me make sure I have everything before we go into these bags. So here's the thing. We have these things called a bug out bag. A bug out bag, if you're not familiar with that, or a survival bag, a bug out bag is a 3-day emergency bag in the event you have to just leave the house. You got to get the hell up out the house. You don't have time to pack nothing. You don't have time to look through the cabinets and get anything. You just need to leave. The situation has gotten so bad that you can't afford to just diddle-daddle around the house, right? I'm talking about emergency. You got to get in the car and you got to leave. You guys, this is important. Every person, every household should have. Now, the bug out bag is a unique bag for each person. So if you are in a house with a family and you have a family of 3, each person needs to have their own bag. And this bag needs to be updated every 2 years or so forth and so on with the gear needed. Inside the bag is enough for you to survive up to 3 to 4 days. That's the purpose of the bag. Okay, so if you have to leave and walk the streets, hide in the woods, this bag, you can survive no matter what. You guys, this is imperative for you to have. If you don't have this, well, I have a second bag I'm going to show you. And the second bag is more of a camping bag with you got the house burned down, the world falling apart. This is it. All right, the bug out bag, which is over here that you'll see, this bag is this is the 3-day bag. This is if, say, my my home is on fire, right, and it's collapsing. We've seen this happen in real life where people's homes catch on fire or apartments catch on fire, condos, whatever, and obviously you got to get out because it's burning down, right, or whatever might happen. Well, obviously I don't have time to get a lot of stuff. Guess what I'm taking? My 3-day bag. Everything in here, all essentials necessary to survive for up to 3 days. I don't have time to pack anything. I don't have time to get any medicine. All that stuff is in the bag. We're going to go through that on this stream. And then, of course, I have under the links of this video what to prepare or what things needed for your bag. I'm also going to pull it up on the screen so we can look at it as well. Now, when all hell breaks loose, I'm talking Armageddon. I'm talking Civil War. I'm talking we're going to have to take the family and we're going to have to go out of state. We got to go north. We got to go south. We got to get a boat. We got to get out of here. We don't have time to do anything else. I'm talking sirens blazing, people falling from the skies and parachutes. Things have gotten bad. This is the bag that I'm taking. I'm taking both, but this is the bag that's going. This is the there's no looking back bag. That's what I call it. Don't turn back. Turn to a pillar of salt bag. This is the bag right here. All right. There is no going back home. This is we are leaving bag. This is this is it. This is it bag. All right. Now this bag is heavy. Ugh. This is a camping bag. As you can see, a traditional camping mountain climbing bag. This is that bag. I'm going to go through this one last because it has the most stuff in here. And as you can imagine, there's still a few things that I probably will add just kind of moving forward. There are a few things that I do have that aren't in this bag, but they're on like a tactical vest that I carry. That's a whole nother thing, right? That's a whole nother thing. So we're not going to get into the tactical side. This is more so just for the survival side of things. But there are things on my vest that I carry that aren't in this bag. But I will mention it, give it an honorable mention. So we'll talk about this, and we're gonna unload. We're gonna unload each of these bags, just so you can see how I pack. You can see the things that I have. And you guys, listen, I want you to take the time to do the research, look for things that are important for you, and especially for young women and women, just women in general. Obviously, there's certain things certain items of feminine products you guys want to have and stored and prepared as well that need to be added to this bag. So also make sure you keep that in mind, because again, this is about there is nowhere to go. And even if the stores are accessible, you guys, if things go south, the last place you want to go is to the store if you can avoid it. Because as you can imagine, people are going to be looting, people are going to be robbing each other, people are going to be harming each other, and people are going to be taking other people's things. All right. So tonight we're talking about shelter, protection, and resources. Those are the three main things for your bag that you need. And again, the whole idea is that you don't want to be the person out here looking for stuff when you need to be using that time to actually remove yourself from the situation. All right, so let's dive into it. All right, how y'all feeling? Y'all ready? Tough conversations, but it's a necessary conversation. We're gonna start with the 3-day bag. All right, the 72-hour bag. This is so important, you guys. What do you need in there? I'm going to pull up a quick list for you guys to look at. The link is it's a Google link. It's downloadable for you. So you can just click the link. If one of the moderators can put the link in the chat. All you have to do is click it. The image will come up, download that, and go through it yourself. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up real quick on the screen so you guys can see. And that way I'll just kind of go over what's in the image and then I'll go through the bag. Let me see. On this little computer. I'm on my laptop, so it's like hard to navigate. Okay, here we go. Okay. So this is the link, the Google link. Moderator just put it out, the 72-hour bug out bag list. Now, the ones in orange, let me see. The ones in orange are the essential items. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. The one in orange are the essential items, and then the one in yellow are the useful, and then the one in green are kind of like things that I want. Okay, so they're not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to have them, but the reason why I like this list is because it gives you options. So you might not be thinking about something, the list might have it on there, and it's, to help kind of give you, kind of jog your memory of things that you might not realize you might want, but might need. So anyways, it gives you a lot of good options, but nonetheless, the orange are essential. You have to have them, right? Non-negotiable. And here's the other thing too, you guys, it's a bag. And you got to remember that you got to be able to carry this bag as well. You might be hiking up hills. You might be going in odd places. So you want something that you can manage on your own. Remember, if you have kids, your kids need to have a bag, right? They need to have their own stuff in their bag. You need to have these conversations with them. That's also very important. So your kids need to prep their own bag. Teach them early, right? Teach them how to prep their own bag and the things that are important, why they're important. So that's also very, very valuable. Um, so I'm not going to, hold on, like zoom in. I'm not going to read the whole list. So this list is here for you guys to go through when you have time, but just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like and what to expect from it. All right. Okay. So so here's the thing. Kids need to have their own bag. You need to walk them through it, explain to them why it's important, have a sit down with them. They're carrying their own bag. You need to do emergency drills with kids and say, hey, okay, there's a fire. What do we do? What do we do? Tom, what do we do? Sally, what do we do? How does it work? What does the family go through? What does it look like? Time them. Okay, that's another thing I tell families when I have these conversations with them. Time your kids. Time the spouse. You guys, hey, fire drill. Here's what we're doing. Hey, emergency evacuation. What do you do? Right? There's shoes already put out to the side, certain clothes that they're supposed to put on. And you time them. Get your bag, line up. What do we do? Wait in the car. If the car's not there, this is where we're going. I tell people who live in apartments that are on the 4th floor, 3rd floor, you need to have an emergency ladder, right? That's something imperative. If you're in a 2nd-story home, you need to have an emergency ladder. And the kids need to know where to access that. So where they just hanging on the window, outside the window, roll it down and you start climbing. You need to do a practice, right? Practice so they're comfortable. Because again, a lot of times with kids and even adults, if you don't try it out, then when it's time for you to actually use that skill set, you don't have it. So that's also very imperative. I tell people all the time, practice. Another thing that's very important is when communication ends. In the movie Leave the World Behind, one of the key things was their cell phones weren't working. No one can access any form of communication, not the internet, not cell phone, and even those who have a sat phone. Okay, for those who are not familiar with a sat phone, it's a satellite phone, and they're not expensive. You can get a good one for about $200. That's actually, I always tell people it's good to have one. But in the event that all communication's down and only sat phones work, if your family doesn't have a satellite phone, then guess what? Then your phone doesn't even matter, right? So you got to keep that in mind. What I do urge people to get is walkie-talkies. There are walkie-talkies that are very, very powerful, and they can operate for over a couple miles. So those are good to have if you're with family and you guys live within a certain area, or it's just your family and you have a series of maybe 4 walkie-talkies. That's good for the family to have. You can charge it up a multitude of different ways. We'll talk about that as well. So communication is key. Having that is very, very important, and going over these exercises. So with our family, we talk about this all the time. We have a lot of family that live in Georgia. So one of the things we talk about is in the event communication goes down and we don't have access to talk to each other, we all have a plan. We all have a plan and action in place as to who goes to whose house, where's the food stored at, how much food is available for the person who is going from one house to another. Now, with me, I'm unique. I stay by myself. So the benefit for me is I would go to the nearest family's home, which is about 20 minutes from where I am. And I will hunker down with them along with the resources that I bring over there, and that they have enough stored resources for their family. And then me as an additional, I have cousins and siblings in another part of Georgia. They go to the closest person's house. That way we all know the plan. And this is a shared understanding amongst everybody, because what tends to happen in these situations is, say you have a younger son, a younger daughter, and they live on their own or whatever. As a parent, you're going to be concerned for their safety, and you're going to want them to be with you. But if we have this understanding, knowing that if something goes bad and we can't contact each other, we know what our responsibility is. And you're supposed to just, one, hope that that they follow the instructions, right? Because there's no way to get at them. And you guys, this is like one of those worst case scenarios. The idea would be that if it was dangerous to leave the house and you can't afford to leave your location to go and check on someone else, right? My mom is here as well. My dad is here as well. everybody knows the plan. So I have to hope that they follow the plan that the family already came up with. Everybody stays in place, or if you are able to leave, you go to the nearest family's home, and that way we stay connected. If we're unable to do so, we have the resources in our individual location to survive. And so if we can't communicate that, we'd have to wait until we are able to communicate to share our location and to let people know that we're okay. And that right there creates a peace of mind, right? So again, I say have these conversations with your family because it creates peace of mind. And this all came from not just this movie, but my training. And the movie just really kind of sparked this interest in me wanting to kind of share with you guys. I know a lot of families that don't prepare for emergencies. And so I think this is a perfect kind of doom and gloom end of the year stream. But at the end of the day, I want this to be a mindset that we go into within 2024 to make sure we're having these conversations with family and make sure we're having this conversation with friends. So that's the key behind that. All right, let's dive into the goodie bag. All right, this is the 3-day bag, you guys. I'm gonna show you what I have. Some stuff in here is kind of like, still have some law enforcement stuff in here, but you don't have to have this. All right, these are these are for just in case you got to tie somebody up. All right. So don't worry about that. We're gonna start with the main front of the bag. I'll show you guys what I have in here. We'll start with the first pouch. Let's see what we got. All right, in the first pouch, I got a small little medic emergency kit. Not too fancy. Again, you guys, it's the 3-day bag, so you only want just enough stuff to survive for 3 days. So I have a little bit of medicine here, probably some Band-Aids, some gauze and things like that. Again, for 3 days. Some wipes. Always good to have wipes. If you're out in the wilderness, trust me, you want that. I have gloves in here, latex gloves. I have medicine, tea, ginger, cough medicine, Theraflu, vitamin C packs, all in this little sandwich bag. I have a small bag of toiletries. I think this is also important to have. Again, it's a 3-day bag, okay? So lotion, toothpaste, soap, floss, Vaseline, and a couple other things. This is something you can easily get. As you guys know, this is like something you would take on the airplane, all right? So I have that. Got to have a little deodorant stick. That's always good to have. I'm a little different brother. I like to be clean even when I'm out stranded. So that's in there. Let's see what's in here. Oh, okay, that's not important. So that's in my first little pouch. For the main bag, well, let me do the side pouches. Side pouch. I have a watch. I have a digital watch I keep attached to this. In my side pouch, okay, handcuffs. That's again, that's that law enforcement in me. I always got to keep a way to secure somebody. Flashlight. I don't have so flashlight's ready to go. And these aren't really super expensive. Again, this is on the list as well. Easy to have. I have another flashlight. Again, law enforcement guys, you can never have enough lights. All right, so that's one of the things. And these lights are like industrial lights, so they last. This side pocket is for let's see what else is this. Let's see what else I got in here. Okay, and then spare batteries in here. Okay, so that's it for that side pouch. The other side, let's see what's in here. All right, and this side I have binoculars. All right, that's not something you necessarily have to have. I think it's always a good investment to have binoculars. Again, that's just that law enforcement side of me. So that's in here. What else? Of course, I have extra ammunition in here. These are 223 rounds. That's very imperative, you guys. You got to have, that's the protection piece. This is another emergency pack, protein bar, sanitizer, and some wipes. I just threw those in the side there. So we got to talk about that, though. Obviously, for your emergency bag, you want to keep weapons, obviously. I'm big proponent on carrying a gun, a knife, and things like that. So if you're going to have those things, make sure you have additional ammunition in the event that you need it. So, all right, let's go into the big bag. This is where all the goodies are at. So those are the stuff on the side. I'm going to go into the larger part of the bag, show you where all the fun stuff is. Okay. All right. This is 72-hour ready hour emergency storage. This lasts up to 25 years of shelf life. It's a 3-day food kit inside this packet right here. I'll link the name of this company. I got a chance to try out their food. The food was good. I mean, it's as good as freeze-dry food you can imagine. Let me see what's in here, actually. I don't even know. Each packet of food is 1,600 calories, and this is for one person. So imagine each one of your family members or if you're in the home, everybody's going to get one of these, right? You want to make sure you pack at least one of these inside the bag for each family member. That's important. And this is 3 days of their food supply. So if you have a young kid, you got a teenager, they need to have one of these. Or you can put 2. It's up to you. But I'm just saying this is just a 3-day bag, all right? What else? Trash bags. All right, there's 2 trash bags in here. These are the black industrial trash bags. These have multi-purpose use to them. I'm not going to go through all of it. It's important to have. Just make sure you have it. Duct tape, multi-purpose use, good to have in a bag. Make sure you have it. I have to do a video. This is just I would say this is just an intro. I'll probably do another video explaining the benefits of all these different things. But for the most part, I just want to show you what you should have, what's important to have. Water filter. All right, this is a necessity. You can't have a bag without this water filter. Make sure you do that. Also, I have in here, these are waterproof matches. All right, waterproof matches. Hope you guys can see it pretty good. But again, I have the list, and I will drop the link to my Amazon list where a lot of these things can be purchased, you guys. So again, this is just an intro, just to show you what things you need to have in the bag. I have in a Ziploc bag clothes, so socks, underwear, 3 days worth inside this little bag here. Then I also have a pack of thermals, 2 packs. I have pants, 2 shirts in here. These are thermals, just in case I'm out in the cold. I have that inside the bag. I also have what they call paracord. This is also very important to have as well. Multi-purpose use along one of these guys. I don't know what you call that, like a little hook. But anyways, what else is in here? I put 2 MREs. These are rations, like military rations. These are good for several years, about 10 to 15 years. These are good to have. I keep them in the bag. They're like cookies, right? You eat like 1, 2 a day, add some water, and it expands in your stomach. So these are good to have. They taste okay. They're not. It's not like it's super special, but they got a little taste to it. I made these for the family. This is unique, you guys. And I'll explain how this works later on down the line. But this is, bring it up close. These are alcohol pads. All right, so, or what did you call them? They're like cotton pads, the flat ones. But I dipped them in wax. All right, I dipped them in wax, and I made a lot of them here. This is for starting fires. It burns slow, and essentially what you do is take a bunch of candles, like white candles, melt them in a pot. Then I take the cotton, the flat cotton wipes, and I dip them in the cotton. I dip them in the wax, and then I let them dry. And what you have is basically you have a fire source, okay? And the way to get access to it, you just simply bend it and break it, kind of like a cookie. And inside is the fibers needed to start a fire. You can use this to make candles. You can use this it slow burns. There's a lot of different utilities for this. So this is good. I made a bunch of them. I keep them in this bag, and I keep the others in my full-time bag there. So I have to do another stream and kind of go through like the purpose for it. But I could, let me see. I might light it. I might light it in the stream and show you what it looks like. But it's a good little hack for fires and candles. So that's also in there. also make sure I have some light sticks, some glow sticks. It's always good. You can never have enough light. People always tell you that. You can never have enough light. Another thing you want to have in this bag, again, I know it's still a temporary bag, but you want to have, of course, a lighter, a way to make fire and things of that nature. I have in here a notepad, which is a waterproof notepad, pens in here, writing utensils. Got some lotion in here. Gotta have lotion. Boy, I hate to be ashy. I don't care what's going on. Doomsday. I need a little lotion. Got some bubble gum in here. What else is in here? I think that's it for this bag. You guys, again, this bag is just for like a couple little knickknacks, the food. I have a lighter in here, how to make a fire, all that type of stuff. So we're gonna push that to the side and get to the granddaddy bag. This bag right here is a bag that you need. A little survival. Let me see. All right. So where are we at? You need lighters. Absolutely need lighters. Then I'm gonna take some questions after we go through this last bag. So on the front of this bag, you guys, this one's huge. There's a lot of shit in here. And the front of this bag right here is a sleeping bag. All right. Again, this bag is the don't go back. It's too late. The world's falling apart. This is the Armageddon bag. If you got to pull this bag out, shit is bad. Okay. You got to pull this out. The shit is bad. This is a sleeping bag that's wrapped up. It's air sealed and it's attached to the bottom. Again, this is a camping bag. I advise investing in this. This bag was like $100, but again, you're here to stuff it with a whole lot of goodies in it. Okay, this bag is heavy. I'm not gonna lie, it's heavy, but I actually exercise with this bag when I'm supposed to, when I'm training and practicing. I'll put it on, walk around for a little bit, get used to it. You guys, it's these bags are made to be a little bit more comfortable because they're camping bags. So there's a lot in it. We're gonna go through it. If you have any questions, I'll take the questions at the end, and we'll go from there. So let's dive into this. This is the, let's take this out. All right, this is the sleeping bag. Gotta have that. Some people also talk about having a tent. You can carry a tent. There's nothing wrong with packing one, maybe in the car. But, you know, again, you gotta weigh the option of what are you carrying. I can build a tent. So with the items that I have in here, in the event I don't actually have a tent. So that is something I'm actually gonna still get. I think it's still good to have. But if you don't have one, make sure you know how to make shelter. I know how to make shelter, so I'm not too worried. So we're gonna start from the top. What do I have in here? If I'm not mistaken, it should be the ammo should be here at the top. So there's a bag here, a little pouch. In this pouch, I keep that emergency radio that also has a, what do you call this? Solar panel on it. Solar panels on here. And then it has a little crank, okay? So this is always good, you guys. It's battery powered. I can connect stuff to it. I have radio access. And, you know, you just crank it up. All right, so let's see. Well, no, it's not. Oh, it's faint. Yeah, it's faint. It's faint. All right, you want to have one of these. I mean, it's cheap, but it does what it's supposed to do. It comes with cords to connect maybe like a phone with if you want to charge something up. So that's important to have, you guys. That's also part of the list. Let me see. Again, you can never have enough ammo. And this bag right here has pockets on pockets on pockets. Let's see. Where is this stuff at? All right, here it is. So I'll keep extra ammunition in here for handguns and rifles. All right, so this is different. Here's another thing too, like you keep a lot of different ammo. I have for 9mm, 40 calibers, shotgun ammo. I have rifle ammo in here as well. You never know if you're going to come across any type of weapon that you may not have. You want to make sure you have extra ammo for it. So at the top of the bag, I think it's so important to put the first aid kit. All right, I'm gonna have to sit up and go through this because this bag is high. All right, shit, y'all can't even see me. Well, it's not about me, right? Let me lower this. Let me put this over here, and we'll go through this one at a time. All right, so one of the things you want to have is, of course, a first aid kit. All right, first aid kit. Let's see. It's pretty basic. I wouldn't say it's like a whole lot of too much in here, but for the most part, get whatever you feel is comfortable for you. This is enough for me to do a little bit of trauma stuff, heating pad, so on and so on. Opens up pretty decent. And you keep these things for a couple of years, and then you got to go back through them, and sometimes you got to replace them. And the idea, you guys, is that you're just investing in insurance for your safety. Man, I packed this so good. I don't even want to go through this. All right. Toiletry kit. All right. It's a lot of different stuff in here. Won't even go through it, but it's a toiletry kit. And you see I got that Cottonelle wipes. I'm telling you guys, you want to have some wipes. You want to have some wipes. I have the rations. Now I have to stand this up because I have to dig through this bag. Got to have MREs in here as well. Some food rations. 2 in there. Got to have some clothes. Again, I have some more shirts and thermals. That's important. Underwear, socks. So, and I put mine in the little gallon sandwich bags. The gallon bags. And just to protect them, just in case the bag gets wet or anything like that, they're there. Again, some more duct tape. Okay, you got to have duct tape, you guys. You can build a lot with this. You can do a lot with this. This is important. Let's see what else in here. This is this is sealed, so I'm not going to open it. But inside this box is a water filtration pump. So this is for filtering water. Now, let me speak on the water filtering. Not only is water filtering important, you want to have this, but you also need to know how to filter water yourself. A lot of people don't know how to. If you get access to, say, ocean water or dirty water, contaminated water, do you know how to properly clean the water? Do you know how to clean it? Do you know how to properly boil it? And do you know how to make a filter? You guys, I know how to make a filter. I'll probably do a video another time about making a proper water filter. And even if you filter the water in the field, you still need to boil it to kill a lot of the bacteria and parasites. All right. So, but I do have one because in the event things go crazy, you just need to have something you can filter. Some pants. These are some tactical survival pants. They're water resistant, so forth and so on. Again, these are like law enforcement stuff, tactical stuff. What else is in here? Keep some water in here. Honestly, these should be glass, but some water is better than no water. I can always filter it out. So I have some water in here as well, 2 little bottles. And I'll probably replace this because I made this bag like 3 years ago. So that probably needs to be replaced. I'll probably put like maybe a glass bottle in there. This is a lamp. You'll see this under the Amazon list that I'll drop as well. It's 1,000 lumen, and I have batteries for it. But have a little lantern in here. This is good to hang around if you're doing stuff. So I have that. I can put a child in this thing. This is let's see. I think this is the blanket. Yeah. Okay. This is a poncho. This is a poncho for the rain. You can cover your entire body or gear with and things like that. You can use it as a blanket as well. Keeps you warm. That's in here. That's actually a pretty cool little thing to have. What else is in here? This is called a life bivvy. So say you're out in the cold And we'll have to look this up though. But this is definitely something you want to have. Again, this list is also under my Amazon list for you guys, and you'll be able to access and find out what it is. This is a life bivy. This is like an emergency blanket. Everybody should have one of these in their car. All right, especially if you're living on the north side, not north side. If you live up north where there's you get snow, bad weather, and things like that. Everybody should have one of these in their car, but definitely needs to be in your bag, because I can create a shelter and cover myself with this and keep my body temperature warm and survive. All right, so this is important to have. Let's see. Batteries for my light. Okay, this is for the Duracell light. I mean, this is Duracell batteries for this light here, maybe other batteries. It's good to have batteries. The thing about batteries, though, if you don't keep them secure properly, they'll they'll explode. The acid will come out. More batteries here. This is kind of good that I'm checking this anyways, you guys, because some of these things I might start replacing. All right, this is actually my favorite little packet right here. This is for meals. This is like a little container used to cook food with. So you can cook in the field. So it's like pots for cooking, boiling water and things of that nature. It comes in a little thing, and it has like little utensils as well. Everything's pretty fancy. Let's open up a little bit. So you have a fork, knife, a little thing here to make some food and something to scrub it with. So all these are nice little clean essentials. And again, this is for if you got to cook in the field, warm some of this food up that I have here. Some of these foods that I do have, you can actually cook them in the bag that they come in, just in case you don't have any utensils. But I'm a little bougie. Even in my emergency bag, I got to have utensils. You know, I'm not here trying to look crazy. Lastly, I think that's... all right. This bag right here is it's a utility, right? It's a tool. This in here, it's like an axe, a shovel, has a compass on it, and basically there's a bunch of these poles. You put the pole together. On the end of it, you have like a digging device. It can also be used. Here's a shovel right here. Oh shit! Make sure I don't lose any of the pieces. But this is, I'll show you what it looks like. This is also on the list just as an option. You can use, so it's a shovel. It has a serrated edge here. The edge here is sharp. You can use it to chop down trees. You can use it also as a secondary weapon if you need to for protection. So I thought this was really good to have, very multi-purpose. And I keep that at the bag as well. The cool thing about this camping bag, I can access items from the bottom, or I can access items from the top. So you don't have to. I don't have to remove everything out of the top like I just did to get access to stuff from the bottom. So I have things stacked up a certain way so that I know where they are. All the emergency resources or tools are at the bottom. I can access them directly. All the clothes are in the middle. All the medical stuff and food supplies are at the top, just to make it easier to get to. But just for the sake of showing you guys this, that's all. I'm just kind of going through. Put this back. You know, when you take stuff out, kind of for like the second time, and then it's always harder to put it back in. All right, there we go. All right. So what I like about that, it comes in a nice little pouch. You can actually take it out, toss it over, and use it as a little whatever. So that's that for this. And you guys, so that's not the entire bag, but that is the center of the bag. And let's talk about the side pockets. For the side pocket, I have a bag for gun cleaning. Uses to clean my weapons. This is very important to have for obvious reasons. Again, waterproof notepad on the side, and some writing utensils. This is important, obviously, for note taking, maps, and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you have that. So for those who carry weapons, make sure. I know I was going over a bag with a friend of mine, and he had all this gun stuff in there, and I was like, oh, do you have any gun cleaning stuff to clean your gun? He's like, nah, I didn't even think about that. So for those who, they carry weapons and things like that, make sure you don't forget to carry cleaning tools for your actual gun. On the other side of the pocket, let's see what I have. Mm-hmm. Okay, so trash bags again. This is important. Always good to have trash bags, you guys. That's in there. I have on this side of the pocket, I have all my water utensils. This is portable aqua tablets. This is for purifying water. This is such a necessity. Again, you might not have the opportunity to filter water or create a filter on the go, and you quickly need something to clean the water, maybe for a large group of people or whatever. It may not, I haven't tried it yet, but I probably need to try it out to see. I'm curious to know what the water tastes like. But you know that you can drink it and it'll be safe for you to drink. It may not probably taste like Aquafina, but it won't kill you. Paracord, this is also very important to have multi-purpose use for this. I keep that on the side. So on this side, I keep all my quick access items. In this bag, I have all my items used to make fire. So I have my matches. I have some more of those wax candles that I made that I was telling you about. And then this right here is made for fire, right? This is a, let me show you how this works. This creates, here you go. This right here is used to make fire, right? You can create sparks over maybe some dry items, leaves, maybe some paper. I use it for my candle, and you basically strike it, and it creates sparks, and those sparks will catch the item on fire, and next you know, you're good to go. Starting a fire from scratch. So this is good to have as well. That is also in the list of need to. And this is something you have when you don't have lighters or you're out of lighters. So you can never have enough lighters and ways to make fire. And when all else fails, this is what I'll end up using. When everything else is gone, I always have another method. And this right here, though, let me show you how this works. So I'm always, when I'm taking this bag out, doing like little presentations for people, I kind of keep, let me see. So let me show you how this works. This is the perfect time to show you. Let me get a little closer, because that's kind of the end of the bag. So I have my 2 lighters in here. Obviously, you can have a little bit more, but again, anything happens, I'm taking both bags anyway, right? So just to be clear, because I have some other stuff in one bag than the other. In my 3-day bag, I have things that are a little bit more convenient. But okay, so I have one of these. This is the facial scrub that can be dipped in wax. That's dipped in wax. All you do is break it to expose the cotton fibers on the inside. You take your fire device again, and again, this is just like a candle. Let me tear it all the way, actually. There we go. And so the idea is that you have the fibers exposed, and then they light on fire. So that's it. So this is good if you're starting a fire. It burns slow. It's more of a controlled burn. Essentially, you just made a candle. The cotton inside of it acts as, I guess you would say, like the wick. All right. And then, of course, the wax here allows it to slowly burn. And then from there, you can create whatever you need to create from it. So that's always good to have a little hack on that. And for the most part, you guys, that's pretty much it. And I have a few other things, but those things are connected to my other, like I have a vest and I have like a knife. It's important for you to have a knife, a full tang knife. That's always good. You can use that as a multi-purpose tool as well. But for the most part, that is my bag. Yeah, that's my bag for the most part. All right, I feel much better. Got that. Oh, got all that through. So that's it, you guys. For the most part, I know it's a lot. Please take a look at the list. Go through the list on your own time, and don't hesitate to ask any questions if you have any questions. Any questions tonight though? Just out of curiosity, does anybody have any questions in reference to what they should have in their bag? What's a good idea to put in there? I know I saw somebody said something earlier about like training and things like that. Unfortunately, you're responsible for your own safety. And I think, we're going in a direction in this world today where, you're responsible to have your own shit together. And in the event you don't want to wait till the last minute to where you need something, you're looking for something and you can't get it. You can't get it. And those who will survive out here are the ones who are best prepared. So please take the time to kind of look through the list, see what you don't have, and go through them. Yeah, go through them. Take any questions. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody have any questions before we sign out? What I'll do is I'm gonna I'll probably clip this up into like a smaller video, and I'll put some links for everybody to kind of get access to. But I feel so much better now that I had this conversation with you guys. If there's anything that you're curious about, please let me know. Let me see what the poll is, what you guys put on here. I'm curious to know what y'all said. All right. So out of 70 votes, I asked, are you and your family prepared? 61% said no. So I think that's important for us to really talk about. I think a lot of people aren't prepared. I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard in the event something does go crazy in this country. I won't even say if, but when something goes crazy, I truly believe people are going to be unprepared, and it's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look. All right, let me see if we got any questions. Good question. What do you do for people who don't own a firearm? You need to get one. Yeah, you need to get one. You need to get one. Save up for one. Everybody should own at least one, and then get the proper training. The guns aren't expensive per se. You have a compound bow. I'm actually thinking about getting a bow. I'm actually. I was at the store the other day looking at some stuff. I'm actually gonna get a bow. Yeah, I agree with you. I think a bow is definitely cool. It's reusable. It's highly effective. It's quiet. You can dip stuff in poison, and you can make the ammo. Because here's the thing: when you run out of ammunition, your gun is no good, right? So, to your point, you have a compound bow. You can make more bows. You can make more bows. I'm actually thinking about investing one, because at the end of the day, the whole idea is like, again, guns jam, things can happen, they're loud. So having something that is something that can be created from the land and used, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that's a great question. I think you can never have enough weapons to protect yourself. What's more quick and efficient and effective is going to be a handgun, a shotgun. You don't have to get too fancy, but you definitely need something. Save up. You can still get a decent one for about $300-400. You can get some ammunition needed, and I'm not really too like, you see my stuff's real basic, you guys. But again, it's for stuff that you just need to have. I have ways to filter water, ways to clean water, but a lot of things I don't have, I know how to do it up here, right? And so that's the other benefit, that if you don't have everything per se, I know how to build a tent. I know how to make a shelter. I know how to survive in the cold. I know how to hunt for food. I know how to plant. So there are certain things that I can, based on my knowledge, I can alleviate. I have a lot of fire making material. I have a lot of ways to make shelter. So I think you got to just be honest with what do you know. Take the time to learn a survival skill, because that's going to be important to have. Um, the most important thing that kills people the most in these situations: one, they don't have shelter. They can't make shelter. Two, they don't know how to make fire, and they don't know how to clean water. So you can last without food for several days. You might lose a little weight, but you got to remember the way food is. I mean, the way fat is stored on your stomach. You can live a couple of days. For those who got a little fluff on them, this I always say I keep a little fluff just in case I need to survive. I need to survive a couple of days with no food. Um, but you got to know how to clean water. You saw I had the water tablets. I have the water filter pump. But I know how to make a filter, you guys. It's you need charcoal. That's the only thing too I'm probably gonna buy and put in the bag is charcoal. You need charcoal, rocks, sand. You need a fabric like a shirt, a container, and you layer them appropriately. And you just let the filter clean out the water, and then after that you boil it. You boil it to a very high degree to kind of get the water needs to be jumping. And you only need to boil it for about 2 to 3 minutes. But then if you can't make fire, you can't boil the water, you can't drink it, you're gonna die, right? So you got to know how to do these things. And again, just like I kind of showed you with this little hack about how to make a fire, because I could take this, light it, and maybe light just a small piece. Again, you could break this in different ways. It's a slow burn. You can bring some shrubs together, some paracord to burn, and next you know you have enough to start a fire. And you use a little bit at a time, so you don't have to use this whole thing, but it's just enough to give you a slow burn, and from there you could do a lot with it. Again, you guys got to think like the long term, right? Long term. So I also put enough in my bag to be able to share and even to barter. That's another thing. We saw that in the movie Leave the World Behind, is that people are bartering. Hey, I got one of these. Can I trade you this for maybe some antibiotics or maybe some plants or some food that you might have? Can I trade that? I have some clothes. I have some duct tape. I have this. So a lot of my bag is full of some things. That I like, personal stuff, but a lot of it, I'm big on being comfortable. So you see, again, like I have the clothes in here, I have the socks. And here's the thing too. Another thing you guys need to be mindful of is you need to have an emergency bag in your car. Okay. And this goes for you as well. We had a situation, I think in Texas, where they had like an ice storm and people were still out on the damn road for whatever reason. And people were stranded in their vehicles for like 2-3 days. So having one of these emergency bivy in your car goes a long way. It keeps you warm, traps your body heat. This is important. Having a medical kit. A lot of you guys don't even have a medical kit in your car, right? You need to have these things in the event you're stranded in your car. Your emergency 3-day bag, it needs to be closest to the door. And in your emergency bag, I keep it in the closet, but you need to be outside the door. You need to have that and be willing to kind of get the hell on in the event of emergency. Let me see. What else? What else? Am I missing anything? Food, shelter, protection. If you're being removed out of your home for any event of any emergency, that means your shelter is gone. So how do you make a shelter, you guys? You can either buy a tent, save it, put it in your car for emergencies, keep it in the closet in emergencies, and you have time. But in the event of an emergency where you don't have any options, you got to leave. You grab your bag and you go. You need to be able to prepare, get out the house within 10 minutes. You need to time yourself within 10 minutes, time your family, time the kids. Hey, got the stopwatch, 10 minutes. Everybody needs to be out the house with your bag, with your 3-day bag on. We need to be out the house and time yourself. Can you beat 10 minutes, right? Time yourself again. Hey, there's a fire. You can't go downstairs. You need to exit out the window. You have your emergency fire ladder. Test and train. Kids are smart. They're resilient. But if you don't teach them, they don't know anything, right? That's how a lot of kids lose their lives in these homes. A lot of people end up drowning. It's not because they couldn't survive. It's they didn't know how to. So please take the time to educate yourself, be informed. Under the video, I have links to, I think it's, what's the name of that government organization? FEMA? I think there's a FEMA link. Okay, the FEMA link, go to that, read through it. It has a list of things that you should have in your home in the event you can't leave your home. Please, you guys, make sure you have these things stored up. Please make sure you have these things saved. Please share this video with friends and family. Share those links. It's not here to make money off of you guys. It's here to make sure you're educated and knowledgeable. Probably down the future, I'll have some affiliate links to where, if you buy stuff, I'll get a little incentive off of that. But these are things that I've already tried and tested, know it to be good. I've cooked these things. My mom cooked this stuff on the stove. This stuff is good. I tried it. So Patriot Supply, I showed you the big container, the legacy stuff. And that's it. That's it. Be prepared, because I guarantee you there are other people out here who are just as prepared. This is the FEMA link. Moderators putting the stuff in the chat for you guys is also at the bottom of the video. Also, the link to the actual list, that's on here as well. The essentials you should have, some basic essentials that you absolutely need to have to build your bag, and then also some wants on the list that you can put. Remember, make sure you get things that's in reason, so you're not making a bag too heavy because you got to carry it. And remember, your kids need to have their own. Oh, that's very good. That's very true. Also, you guys, make sure you have something for your pets. All right, that's another thing. Do you have a little pet bag? Your pet need to have a bag. These are things you need to think about. Emergency seeds, how to store seeds. Good question, you guys. The pets is also another thing. A lot of people forget about that. Do you have the tools necessary to save your pet, or is your pet a walking meal for you? You know what I mean? Things might get tough. Little Sparky might be. Kids be like, "Where'd Sparky go?" We're like, "Shit, he was hungry, right?" So I don't know. I mean, that's not funny. I know I'm joking, but you guys, things happen, man. When you start getting a little hungry. All right, it's been a couple weeks. There's a show I'm watching right now, if you're not familiar with it, called Yellow Jackets. And it's about a group of teen girls who are going out of state to their soccer team. And they're going out of state and the plane crashes. And they're stranded in this remote area. And they got to survive. I'm on season 1, and I'm like, Lord have mercy. And these are kids, they don't know how to survive, and they're figuring it out. And, a lot of real questions come up, right? A lot of real questions. So anyways, yes, the pets. Thank you guys for bringing that up. I don't have any pets, so it slipped my mind about that. So yes, pets are important. Let me see. Any other questions? Let me see. What did he say? Jermaine said he about to get a suppressor. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. The only problem with suppressors is cleaning them, man. Cleaning them. And that's probably like the biggest key. Oh, no, you guys are welcome. This is definitely for you guys. This stuff's been just weighing on my spirit for a long time, you guys. Been weighing on me for a long time. I don't think we do enough of this. I don't think we have enough of these conversations. And we're going to have these more in 2024. I'm going to do another recap. And what stopped me from doing this before, you guys, I was trying to do like this nice big production thing. And I wanted like a nice little table, and now I could put the stuff on the table and show you guys. Like I had this whole thing planned out. And, sometimes we try so hard to make things perfect, and we ultimately end up not even, we end up missing out on the purpose, which is to educate, right? And so I told myself I got to get out of that next year, that stop worrying about trying to make it the perfect setup, and really just share the information, share the knowledge with you guys. That's the most important thing. But I think the poll is very telling. and which I wasn't surprised, and this is not to make anybody feel bad, but this is a reminder, you guys, that there are people who are prepping. There are people who do have these things together. And that's kind of what the movie was even highlighting, that there are people who are prepared and there are people who are not. And the people who are prepared, you're not going to share. These are your last resources, especially a family to protect. I can't give you a lot of stuff, right? Like, that's just the reality. It's not that I don't want to help. I can't. So do your do your neighbor a favor, right? Do your fellow American a favor and make sure you prepare, keep yourself up to date with the resources and things that you need. Don't inconvenience your family because you decide to goof off and not really put any light into this. Listen, I grew up in California, and we used to have earthquake drills all the time, and we would have containers where they would keep our emergency stuff in there. And our parents would have to prep everything. We'd take it to school, and they would put it. We'd sign our name on the bag. It was a giant bag we had. And they would put all our stuff in there for us. And it was good for about a good 2 days. In the event you get trapped in school, right, and you can't leave, you had food and snacks for your own bag. So those are things, when you live in areas like that, they prep you for emergencies. And so I think we've just gotten so comfortable lately. But listen, you guys, we're in these times now where we don't know what is going to happen with this presidential election, how people are going to react, what people are willing to do to get their point across. Things are looking crazy. All right, where people are hinting towards another world war, very possible. There's a possibility that the presidential election is not going to go the way things are planned. I mean, there's a lot of funny business going on in this country. Please make sure you have your home in order to where you aren't dependent or reliant on these stores and things like that. Just be prepared, you guys. That's it. I mean, that's all I can say. Take it seriously. You only have to buy these things like once every maybe 4 years. And I showed you the food storage. That stuff lasts for 25 years. The shelf life, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So please take the time to go through the links that I put. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of information. And you can build this stuff little at a time. You don't have to break the bank, right? But there are key things that you need that are unavoidable, all right? Like a water filter, water tablets, some fire stuff. Especially because a lot of us aren't knowledgeable on how to make these things on our own. Buy them. Buy them and then educate yourself. I'll do other videos in 2024, like how to make the filter, how to make fire, how to light fires from scratch. So that'll be cool. We'll do some survival stuff. And but build your bag. Build your bag. Any questions? Let me take any questions. If you want to do a first aid kit trauma bag episode, I can help with that. Yeah. Let's do that. Send me a message. I think that'll be good for people to see because I only know the basics for trauma care. So it'd be cool to get one from military, someone in the military who can give us some explanations on that. I got a nurse I can bring up. I know I got some doctors in the chat I can bring up, but actually have a conversation on how to handle wounds if you're injured, what to do, what not to do, how to properly treat and medicate a wound if you're out here and you don't have access to a hospital. Another thing too is like someone mentioned getting seeds that you can store and plant. I think that's absolutely perfect. The companies that I use, I have to pull up the website and show you guys. The links are in here though. Legacy and the Patriot Supply. They're good. I've tried their food. They're good. Those are storage bins that I have. They also sell seeds, so that's also good. And they also sell medical supplies. And you can go to the website and buy the entire bag. You probably don't have to get what I did. I did mine, one by one. But at the time when I was building my bag, I didn't see companies that had a pre-made bag. You just need to buy the bag. I didn't see that. So I had to do mine hand in hand. There's another one too where you can get medical antibiotics and things like that, supplies. I don't have that. I do plan on, like I said, my kit is good for minor trauma stuff. And I have another medical kit, but that's with my gear, my actual like vest and stuff like that. that's more, I have a tourniquet on there. I have chest seals and things like that. That's like if you're in a gunfight and you need that. So I do have that. That's some of that stuff is on my gear bag. So that's more like combat stuff. But yeah, bro, hit me up on Instagram, DM me, and then we can definitely plan that in maybe January, mid-January, and give people another kind of follow-up to this emergency planning program. One thing I will do is find a company though and share with you guys where to get like emergency medicine. So we saw that in the movie. Stuff for maybe I have a mat. I got all kind of actual stuff too, guys. This is just for y'all. This is civilian stuff. But I have like the gas mask and shit. I have a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. But I don't want to scare y'all. I don't want to scare y'all off. But this is just for what you need. Everyday citizen, you just need to protect yourself, have certain things, get out the house. Don't worry about getting too fancy, looking like some of these guys on Call of Duty or something. You don't need nothing too crazy. Okay, y'all check this link out. Chinook Medical Supply. I'll look them up actually right now. There's a way to take medication. Make sure you. Yeah, so make sure if you have allergies, that's another thing. Great information there. If you have allergies, you guys make sure you pack those things. The only thing I didn't pack in this bag though is like bug repellent. I think I need to add that to the list. Listen, I don't like to be irritated, so some people will laugh at me about my little bag, but on the list of the bug out list, they have the wants on there. So if you got a bag and it's still, you got a little room, you can add some stuff, put some stuff in there, make yourself comfortable, right? So if you can. But I will look up that link though. You guys, please check that out. He's recommending a link for us to look at if there's medicines, if you have certain medicines, medical medicine, to store and supply. I think that's important. I think that's the only thing on my list that I don't have is that, and I'm definitely gonna look into that before January is out. I'm curious to know what the shelf life is on some of that medicine. This is a good question, Nathan. Sorry guys, the laptop is all the way up here. Nathan, what type of handgun would you recommend? I would recommend the Glock. I'd recommend the Glock, and I would recommend a SIG, a Glock, and a SIG Sawyer. And I'll tell you why. For the Glock is a very, very, I would say, durable piece of machinery. Means you can shoot it while it's wet, while it's dirty. It could be gook, all kind of foolishness in that gun. For those who aren't really gun savvy, they don't have good nomenclature. The Glock is a very, very good weapon all across the board. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance. You're supposed to maintenance, but I'm just saying as far as in the event of emergency, I think a Glock is a very good universal weapon to have. And the likelihood you'll come across other people with Glocks, if you need to trade, get parts and things like that, is very highly, very highly. So that's also the reason why I recommend Glock. Glock hands down, you guys. Glock 9mm rounds or more, you're more likely to come across a 9mm. I swapped out some guns I had. I had a 40, I had a 45, had all these different. And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I just need a 9mm. It's most. You're more likely to come across a 9mm gun in the field out here. And I'm thinking about things as far as like if shit hits the fan or come in contact with somebody else, or you may have to raid a home or raid a car looking for things, and you're more likely going to find 9mm ammo. Now, the reason why I say the SIG Sawyer, SIG has a new weapon, and I'm not going to show you guys any guns in this stream, but maybe I'll do another stream and I'll show you the different weapons and things like that, maybe how to manage them and so forth. But this is not a gun channel, so I never really talk about guns like that. But for the sake of this conversation, SIG has a weapon, a platform where they have one gun and you can swap the barrels out. So that's I have a SIG as well and a Glock. But the SIG, I like that because I carry a 9mm, but I can also swipe the barrel out for a 40. I can swap the barrel out for the 45. Why is that important? You have one gun that can shoot all 3 rounds. To me, yeah, the P239. So So shout out to Dre. Dre's in the chat. So that's the gun that I like because again, I don't want, these guys who are gun junkies. I'm not a gun junkie. I have what's needed and necessary, and that's it. You're only one person, okay? All that John Wick shit, nah. I'm sorry. So the benefit of that is I have one gun, and if I come across some ammunition that I don't have an actual weapon for, like say I come across a lot of 45 caliber rounds, but my gun is a 9mm. Obviously, I can't shoot the 45, but with the SIG, I'm able to swap the barrel out, keep the same frame of the gun, just swap the barrel. Now I can shoot those rounds. And so to me, I saw value in that, and so I ended up swapping it out and getting a SIG for that reason. So that to me, that's the benefit. But a good handgun, a good shotgun goes a long way. And obviously, I think everybody should own a rifle for obvious reasons. But again, if you're just talking about just protection for the family, you need to go to and from, a handgun is just fine. And those guns are heavy, you guys. And, it looks cute when you're watching it on movies and shit like that. But that stuff is not fun to carry around a long period of time. It wears on you. And if you're not training consistently, running around with that stuff, you feel it. You'd be ready to kind of get rid of stuff after a while. So keep that in mind. But that's a great question. Great question. Any more questions? Let me go through this list. Damn, I have to get back up on here so I can see. All right, let me see. If you want to do first aid training, yeah. Let me save that. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna look this up. After the stream. Any questions? All right, yeah. Any more questions before we head out tonight? Said Rambo starter kit. Any more questions before we head out tonight? Yeah, you guys share this stream with your friends, man. Share this with your family. It's not gonna be too long. We're gonna end at the 2-hour mark, and then I'll pack all this stuff back up. But yeah, any questions before we head out? And before we go, again, Happy New Year's to everybody. I was thinking about I kind of do like a little Happy New Year stream. I was like, nah, I'd rather give you guys some knowledge. And then we can always pull this stream back up and kind of go back over some smaller details. But I wanted to make sure I had this. And better than any gossip, we actually talk about something. So anyways, so that's it, you guys. That's it for tonight. So I hope that you found this informative. Please take time to go over some of these things. Look through your cabinets. Check to see the things that you have that you don't have. This is important. Please start working on building your emergency bags. Make sure you have the tools and resources needed in your home in the event of emergency. Just from doing this poll right here, it showed that almost 70% of you guys have not prepared. And that's okay. The perfect time to start is right now. Don't wait until something bad is happening. Don't wait until the sky is falling. Don't wait till civil war breaks in this country before you start turning around, looking around and realize you don't have anything. Please take the time to educate your kids, your family, and prepare. Have these conversations, sit down, practice, do these drills. You only need to do it a few times, but make sure you make the effort. Get food that you can store, get resources, mainly focus on shelter, food, and protection, you guys. Resources there at the bottom. If you have any questions, please. He said you got me fat. I have, bro. I have. I've been sitting down. Shout out to you, Mandrell. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, bro. But I'm prepping my body, right? This is for hibernation purposes. We're going into winter time. That's my winter body. So make sure you take the time to look through these links. There's a lot of information out there. I don't have all the information, but I have enough to know that I'm about 70% prepared. I'll say that, you guys. So just make sure you take the time to educate yourself. There are links on the bottom of the video. Please go through them, compare your notes, see what you have, what you don't have, and don't wait till the last minute. All right, do something, start somewhere, and start now. Okay, so any questions, leave them in the comment section. You guys know I'm going to answer them. Please share this link with someone who might not be familiar. Any questions you have, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm all for it. But yeah, civil war pending in this country, drama pending, chaos pending. I think we're on our way to another big problem in the next 2-3 years. Food shortages, inflation, so make sure you do what you do, you guys. Anyways, let these truths find you where the lies have left you guys. Good night. God bless. Happy New Year's. And I will see you in 2024.